Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Mike Brown and Murphy here with Remax in Toronto. Listen, obviously, I'm a numbers guy. If you watch this channel, you can see that I pay pretty close attention to the inventory numbers. And after I finish with this rant or ramble, we're going to take a closer look at those numbers and how they relate to the monthly sales from the beginning of this calendar year. This is a metric that I call ADLIVs. It's an acronym that stands for Average Daily Listing Inventory versus Sales. I try my best on this channel to be unbiased, and I find by monitoring these numbers on a daily basis, it kind of helps keep things real. There is no hidden agenda here. On the contrary, if you follow or watch this type of content on YouTube or other social media platforms, you'll probably find there are two very distinct messages being offered. The first being that the sky is falling and we are in a real estate bubble that is about to pop. And the second one being things have never been better, interest rates are falling, and if you're a buyer, you better get in before prices start to go up again. The FOMO effect. And then, of course, we have the forces that are affecting the market. The government's insistence on propping up real estate values and the policies that they implement, interest rates, geopolitical issues, and let's not forget the massive sales force of realtors here in the GTHA and throughout the country. Remember, 40% of the Canadian GDP is reliant on real estate activity. That means builders, developers, realtors, mortgage brokers, home stagers, inspectors, multimedia and IT people. I think you get the idea. There is a lot riding on this. So you kind of have to take all of these things into consideration if you're going to gain any reasonable sense of what is actually true. All the while knowing that none of us have a crystal ball. And all of this information is now available in a way that sometimes boggles my mind. This is the social media era, which has created a news made-to-order type of society. You can become very well informed on your chosen belief, all the while being unaware of important information that's contrary to your view. I say in every episode, I'm trying to uncover the real state of real estate, and clearly that's not easy, but it is my goal, and I try and use these numbers and my vast experience and perspective to shed light on the market. Now back to those two agendas that I spoke of previously. For those of you who subscribe to the sky is falling and the bubble is about to burst, there is some evidence to back this up. However, I think the real question is how loud could that be when the bubble finally does burst? In other words, I think it's unlikely that home prices will drop by more than 20% from coast to coast. If you subscribe to the FOMO effect and believe prices are about to skyrocket once again, well, there's evidence with lower interest rates on the horizon and recent changes to insured mortgages and amortizations. This could happen. But again, how much of a pop to the upside will we actually see? What has always been true is that houses that present themselves as turnkey or 10 out of 10 will get top dollar in any market. And on the opposing side of things, houses or condos with less appeal are going to have a tough time and bottom out in this environment. Again, I'm a numbers guy and the numbers don't lie. If you are a buyer or a seller, these inventory numbers and how they relate to the sales volume is going to help you uncover the real state of real estate. And by the way, a detailed explanation of the importance of inventory data is available on my website, reinventory.to. So let's take a close look at these numbers. This is just for the 416 area code Toronto proper for both freehold and condo. And I'm using it as an example because I believe that Toronto really sets the trend for all the surrounding areas. So as you can see in this graphic, we have houses on the left and condos on the right. We're going from January 2024 to September 2024. And what you really want to focus here in on are the two numbers starting in January with the houses, 506 sales, average daily inventory 1380, or 37% of the houses were selling. And if you track these percentages as we go through the months of this year, you can see there was a slight increase up until around April, and from then we started to see the number declining. So, what's my interpretation of this data? Well, it does look like inventory is starting to stabilize or level off at the very least. And the market has been pretty slow, pretty much since April of this year. And by the way, it wasn't like it was exactly humming along before then. Now, no doubt, interest rates will continue to fall, and buyers will either respond to this because borrowing is more affordable and accessible, and they want a house to call home, or the effects of interest rates or high interest rates over the past 24 months or so have taken the required toll on the economy and have slowed things to the point where there's not going to be enough demand to keep up with supply. So it's really all about whether or not this gap widens and these percentages continue to fall, or if the gap closes and the percentage starts to rise. Like I stated earlier, nobody has a crystal ball, but I do believe that this metric can be very helpful to anybody who's considering buying or selling a home or condo. Now let's have a look at that inventory story. Hey everybody, thanks again for tuning into the channel. Until the next episode, this is Mike Brown uncovering the real estate of real estate here in the GTA and Southwestern Ontario.